Have you ever been sitting in a packed ER, clutching a sprained wrist, and watched someone who just walked in with a cough get called back before you? You probably thought, "What is going on? I was here first." It feels unfair, right? Like someone's cutting the line. But what you're seeing isn't favoritism. It's a complex, high-stakes system called triage, and it's one of the most stressful parts of emergency medicine. Today, we're going behind the curtain to explore the impossible choices nurses and doctors make every single shift. This is the real story of who gets treated first and why. Welcome to The Broken Shift. Triage is the unseen sorting process that happens the moment you check into an emergency department. It's not first come, first served. It's a rapid assessment to determine the severity of your condition. Think of it like a battlefield, but the enemy is time. We use a system, often a numbered scale from 1 to 5, to prioritize patients. Level 1 is a resuscitation case, someone who is actively dying, like a cardiac arrest or major trauma. They need immediate, life-saving intervention. Level 2 is an emergent case, like a potential stroke or heart attack, where a delay could lead to a permanent, devastating outcome. These patients are our top priority. Then you have Level 3, which is urgent. This might be a broken bone, a deep cut that needs stitches, or severe abdominal pain. You need care soon, but your life isn't in immediate danger. Level 4 is less urgent, like that sprained wrist or a minor allergic reaction. And Level 5 is non-urgent, like a cold, a minor rash, or a request for a prescription refill. This is the basic framework, but the reality is so much more complicated. Because a simple cough could be a sign of pneumonia or a blood clot in the lungs. A headache isn't just a headache. It could be a brain bleed. That's the constant pressure of triage, making a critical judgment call with very limited information in a matter of minutes, sometimes even seconds. The real challenge begins when the ER is overcrowded, which, let's be honest, is most of the time. Imagine having 3 Level 2 patients arrive at once: a chest pain, a stroke, and a child struggling to breathe. But you only have one available bed. Who gets it? This is where the textbook ends and the human element takes over. As a nurse, you're not just looking at a number on a chart, you're looking at a person, you're looking at their family, and you have to make a choice that feels impossible. You have to decide who gets that bed, knowing that the other 2 will have to wait. And in that waiting period, their condition could worsen. That's a weight that you carry with you long after your shift ends. This is what we call moral distress. It's the feeling you get when you know the right thing to do for your patient, but the system's limitations, a lack of beds, not enough staff, insufficient resources, prevent you from doing it. You want to give every single person the best possible care right now, but you can't. So you're forced to juggle. You might put the chest pain patient in a hallway on a monitor. Try to get the stroke patient to a CT scanner from the waiting room, and keep a close eye on the child. You're constantly reassessing, reprioritizing, and trying to keep all the plates spinning. And the guilt is immense. You feel guilty for the person in the waiting room whose pain is getting worse. You feel guilty for the family who keeps asking when their loved one will be seen. You feel guilty because you know that in a perfect world, none of this would be happening. You'd have enough rooms, enough nurses, enough time. But our healthcare system is not a perfect world. It's a system under constant strain, and we, the frontline workers, are the ones left to manage the fallout. It's an emotional toll that a lot of people don't see. We're trained to be compassionate, to be advocates for our patients. But the system often forces us into situations that feel like the opposite of compassion. Of course, in the middle of all this high-stakes drama, there are moments of absurdity and even humor. It's a coping mechanism. You'll have someone come in demanding to be seen immediately for a splinter they got 2 weeks ago while a major trauma is rolling through the doors. Or you'll be trying to manage a critical patient while another is complaining loudly that the hospital Wi-Fi is too slow. You have to find the humor in it, or the stress would consume you. These moments of human chaos remind you that for as much as we try to make it a science, medicine is messy. It's unpredictable. It's human. I remember one particularly chaotic night. The waiting room was overflowing, every bed was full, and we had ambulances lined up outside. I was the triage nurse, and I had a young man with abdominal pain who I suspected had appendicitis. He was a level 3, but stable. At the same time, an elderly woman came in with shortness of breath. Her oxygen levels were dropping. She was a clear level 2. I had one bed. I gave it to the elderly woman. The young man had to wait. For the next hour, every time I walked past the waiting room, his eyes met mine. I could see his pain. I could feel his frustration. And I felt awful. I knew he needed surgery. I knew he was suffering. But I also knew the woman in that bed could have died without it. That's the choice we face. It's not about who is more important. Every single patient is important. It's about who is more critical in that exact moment. It's a heavy burden to carry, being the gatekeeper. You are the one who has to look someone in the eye and essentially say, "I'm sorry, you have to wait." And you see the fear, the anger, the disappointment in their face. It never gets easier. You just learn to live with the weight of those decisions. The problem is that this constant state of crisis is becoming the new normal. Overcrowded ERs and delayed care aren't just occasional problems anymore. They are symptoms of a much larger, systemic issue. And the moral injury, the psychological damage from being repeatedly forced to make these impossible choices, is a huge contributor to nurse burnout. We get into this profession to help people, but we're put in positions where we feel like we're failing them. Not because we aren't skilled or caring enough, but because the system itself is broken. So the next time you find yourself waiting in an ER and you see someone who arrived after you get called back first, please remember this. Remember that behind those doors, there's a team of dedicated people making incredibly difficult decisions under immense pressure. They see you, they know you're waiting, and they are doing everything in their power to get to you as soon as they can. Triage isn't about ignoring anyone, it's about saving everyone, one impossible choice at a time. It's a system born of necessity, run by humans who carry the weight of every patient, seen and unseen. Thanks for joining us on The Broken Shift. If you've ever experienced this, either as a patient or a provider, share your story in the comments. We'd love to hear from you. And if you found this insightful, please like this video and subscribe to our channel for more honest conversations about the realities of healthcare. Stay safe and be kind to one another.